CatSynth TV.
Hey everybody, CatSynth TV, and we are paying tribute to the Queen of Funk, Betty Davis, who passed away today at the age of 77. Although underappreciated at the time, Davis's early 1970s albums would go on to become cult classics and influence musicians for decades to come. Around 1960, a young Betty Mabry came from her home in Pittsburgh to New York to study at the Fashion Institute of Technology. During this time, she worked as a model and began to hang out with other models and musicians at places in New York like The Cellar. Indeed, her first single, produced by Lou Courtney, was titled The Cellar. Always ready to present and promote herself, she recorded Get Ready for Betty in 1964. This was a straight R&B tune and had very little of the pioneering funk for which she would become known. This started to change in her recordings at Columbia starting in 1968. It was also at Columbia that she met Miles Davis and became his muse and second wife. Betty would appear on the cover of Miles Davis's Fields to Kilimanjaro and would also record her own work at Columbia with Miles' support that exemplified her transition from R&B to funk. In turn, she would inspire Miles' own turn to fusion in albums like Bitches Brew and Beyond. Unfortunately, her Columbia sessions were not released at the time, and the Davises' tumultuous marriage only lasted 1 year. Betty Davis, as she would continue to be known, left the U.S. to pursue her modeling career in Europe, but would soon return to record her legendary series of funk albums, with Sly and the Family Stone producer Greg Errico and a band made up of West Coast funk greats like Larry Graham and Merle Saunders. Her eponymous debut album exemplified her extremely funky sound and often sexually provocative lyrics, a pattern that continued with her follow-ups, They Say I'm Different and Nasty Gal, both of which display the model, composer, and chanteuse in her full glory. Unfortunately, the albums were not commercial successes. Her unabashedly sexual lyrics and performance style meant she was barred from television as well as from radio, under pressure from religious groups and even the NAACP, something I personally think was unfair, even in the context of the time. But over the years, her albums gained a cult following and became classics. Betty Davis would abruptly leave recording and performing in the late 1970s, returning to Pittsburgh to lead a quiet, private life. There was a resurgence in interest in Davis and her work when the Columbia sessions were finally released in 2016. A year later, a documentary that included contemporary interviews with Davis was released under the title Betty, They Say That I'm Different. Perhaps Carlos Santana summed her up best when he said that Betty was indomitable, she couldn't be tamed. Musically, philosophically, and physically, she was extreme and attractive. Do you have any thoughts about the life and work of Betty Davis? Please let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to CatSynth TV.